Welcome back, guys and girls, to Dad's Toy Garage. We're on a last video until next spring on this car. We're going to be doing the bumper on here. As you can see, I've went body matched. There is not any good chrome shops in our area, and I can do this. So follow along, I'll show you how to get this done, and let's have a good time. And here's your preview. So let's get into this. Alright guys and girls, I am working on the bumper of the 73 Celica Project Judith Ann, and you can see it in the background there. What I'm doing is sandblasting it, do the body work on the bumper. So I'll show you what we got going here. So way back, we had this bumper and I've modified it. It's a 73 bumper. Built the brackets, I welded in every hole. You can see them right here. There's a bunch of holes for brackets because there's an inner bumper, and I backdated this to 72, which meant I had to build the brackets. So I've been blasting this off here, working my way along, get that rust off of there. And then the top side I'm going to sand down with 40 grit, and then I'm going to epoxy prime both sides of this, and then we'll do the body work on it. Figure I'll show you the repairs here now that we have a better camera. So right here was a fog light cutout, and then the bumperette cutout on both sides of it. All the holes are welded in. So I've seen this done on occasion and it looks good in the pictures, so I think that's what we're going to attempt here. The whole bumper is sanded now in 40 grit, and the rust is ground out of it, so I'm going to hit that with epoxy. Then we can start the bodywork process. So I'm going to work this bumper in stages. I've got masked off where I want filler. I want to keep my sharp lines sharp. I'm going to skim this with filler, and then I'll pull off, there's 2 layers of tape. I'll pull off the tape layer, and then I can still sand up against that tape. So now that I have the top edge done here, for the most part, it'll need some priming just to do final finesse. I taped along the opposite side of the filler, and I taped along this edge. And there's a bit of a harder edge here. It won't be completely sharp, but at least I can round it off nicely once it's done. The next step is filling from center that way, putting a coat of filler on there. And then if you look closely, all the lines I made have a double layer tape, so just rip it off and I'll still have the tape to sand against. And once again, the reason we have the tape on there to sand against is so I can keep my line. You can very easily lose that kind of thing in there. So I'm going to apply the filler now, and then I'll rip the tape edge off of there. So now, because I've got 2 layers of tape, you can pull it off cleanly. So the nice thing with this tape edge here, when I'm sanding, you can see I sanded up to my edge, but I'm not losing it, and I've kind of hit flush here. So I'm also going to be making these lines a little bit more defined, not like sharp, but a little bit more sharp than round, so they really stand out on the car with the blue paint. Yeah, I'm going to sand it and probably require 1 more coat. All sanded. Now this stuff is drying. I filled this one same way. So once that's sanded, I'll probably I'm thinking then we can transition these edges, and I'll leave this edge here, probably a little bit yet. So now we had this curve here. I want to tackle that. We're gonna have to transition sand it all when we're done, but I wanted to get the edges of the curve as straight as possible. So I'll sand the curve into here. I've done it once. This is the second filler time in there. So I'll do it in a half up to this point. We're putting a little bit of an extra sharper point in here over what it originally had, but I think that will really help it come together. You'll see what I mean when it's done. All right, guys, girls, it's like 34 degrees Celsius. So I threw this out on the deck table here. I want that body filler to cure up really well. I'm not quite done sanding. I gotta sand this part here. But what I noticed was having the Miata out on a day like this, the body filler did even more curing. So I'm gonna throw it out here and let it kind of do its thing. So other than that, it's pretty much ready for primer. Alright guys, girls, this bumper is ready for primer. I did the pinhole filling. It's looking pretty sweet, pretty decent. It's gonna probably look straighter than a factory one. It's kind of what I'm feeling, especially with how nice these lines are coming out. Well guys, all those hours on here paid off. I'm gonna block sand it. I've got 3 coats of epoxy primer on here, and I had to flood out a couple areas, but very few, because I did the pinhole fill on it. So whatever I flooded out, now they're gone. So we'll give it a block sand and a wet sand to get the texture out of it. So you can talk, or I can talk about the lines here now, getting them sharp. This point here, I don't know how we're gonna see that. You can kind of see how it's more pronounced. And very minimal bugs in it too, which made me happy. So I did aerosol black primer on here like we've done in the past. Just a mist coat. And that will be the first wet sand. I think we'll be hitting it with, was it 600? Something like that. I have to see what I have in the cabinet. Or was it that we were ending in 600? I forget exactly what we did on this car and this car. It's been a little bit. But yeah, I might have to confirm that with my dad again. But we'll block it. I have some tools here actually. We'll go in the cabinet. I'm thinking for this one, I'm going to use this little guy here. And then we got all our fine stuff here. So I think I went 400 and then 600. So 400 wet paper. Where is that? Right there. 400 wet paper with that little block, and then I'm going to hit 600 after just by hand wet, and then they'll be ready for paint. So hopefully by the end of this week, I do a little bit of playing in there every day, we'll get her done. All right guys and girls, so I've done this side of the bumper with 400 on the block, but we're going to zoom in here so you can see what happens as I sand this and what while you keep refining this. I've shown you in other videos, we're going to show you again here. So see that, guys? If you would have went to paint it, it would have been that much more textured, and wherever the body filler is versus the primer underneath, you'll get a line on that. So let's just do a quick sand along and see what shows up here. There. Still a little bit of a low spot, see that? So as I sand, all that will go away. And then eventually you're left with what we just saw earlier right here. So I'm gonna keep going on this and then we'll go to hand sanding. All right, we have done everything to this bumper. I've got it welded, repaired, it's modified. It's a 73 bumper. And I've backdated, I've built brackets so that it'll mount like a 72. It's a clean bumper. The bodywork's done, the priming's done. So the next thing we have to do is clean it, tack it, and spray base, and then spray clear. And I guess I should say the reason we're not chroming this bumper is because there aren't any good chrome shops around here. The one that I do know of wrecked my back bumper. We won't use any names, but it's on the car. It is not near perfect, and I actually got a refund from them. So I'm going to paint this one until we have a little bit more extra money to buy a chrome bumper for this thing, or find a better place to get it chrome. But I want to see a bumper on the car. So let's get to it. Let's clean it and let's spray it. You'll see it when it's done like normal because I don't want paint on my phone. All right, so we got matrix base on that guy there. And the clear I'm going to be using is the Matrix Edge, and it's a Euro Design clear coat, the AG40LV and the AH202, the medium speed dry. And we gotta let it dry for 20 minutes now, but we got our final coat on here. I did 3 to make sure we have coverage. There's a lot of angles. Looks great, guys. I really like it. And for those of you wondering what color the engine block's going to be, this will be it, and it'll have a matte sheen. And I even went underneath so that it's blue when you look at it um, when the hood's open on the car. One more look here for you guys. Check out those lines, nice and crisp. All right, thanks to Dad for coming down. Helped me get this bumper installed. It looks real nice. The blue is actually better than I expected it to be. Front shot here. Got my daughter in the back. She loves to sing. If you get it from this angle here, it's kind of where I was liking it. Right there. Well, I am very thoroughly impressed with this bumper. It came out better than I expected. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys, girls. Yeah, this car is probably going to go into winter storage now, so I have this whole shop available to work on my FJ40. I want to get sheet metal worked on it, so this will be the last you'll see of this car till spring. At this point, it's an engine I'm waiting on. Engine, then exhaust, then alignment, and this thing can hit the road. But those guys at the engine shop doing just simple machine work have taken 2 years at this point, way longer than I expected, so this thing's had to sit like a lawn ornament or a shop queen at this point. So yeah, have a good look at it. It's going into winter storage. We'll be working on that Land Cruiser all winter. So until next time, guys, get in your shop, get your stuff done, and have a good one. Talk to you later. Bye.